On today's podcast, Judd looks like a huge mess. I'm lying. We both do. Not that it matters. Oh, Judd, you've got you. It's such a mess. It's in keeping with our feelings. You're on your shit microphone. We need the right microphone and everything. But yeah, that's the start of the podcast. Oh, we've done over 100 of these, I think. Have we? We've been doing this for over a year, and this is still the same quality that we. I mean, like, the production quality isn't too bad most of the time, but our quality of actually doing this was so bad. How could we be so bad?
I've been fast asleep. I've been asleep on sofa. I've been watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I've been fast asleep.
Judd's only just woken up. I just confessed to Judd that, like, hopefully no one important watches this, that I put my phone on loud earlier because I'm working from home. I put my phone on loud so that if I got any emails or any work calls, it'd go off, and I just went to sleep. Just fell asleep in bed. I'm exhausted. I'm still exhausted from my long COVID. That's what I'm blaming it on. Which I do actually believe it is that, but it could also just be me being lazy as well. Yeah. Evidently from you being just as lazy. I think that's probably part of what it is.
I just fell asleep. I fell asleep. Oh god.
Maybe we should change this to the sleepy cast. I'm sure that's not been taken before.
Sleepy Cast it was the name of the Sleepy Cabin podcast.
Oh. No, I knew that. That's the point. That was the joke.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
you gotta be a lot slower with those. Gotta be a lot slower with those today, Jake.
So do you remember that one podcast, Judd? Right now, I'm going to tell you the joke.
The one that I had tattooed on my arm.
What do you mean had? Tattoos don't. What, did it fall off?
Yeah, I had it tattooed on my arm. Yeah.
You still have it tattooed on your arm?
Yeah, I had it tattooed on my arm.
This is the wrong tense you're using here, Judd.
I had it tattooed on my arm, and it's still on my arm today.
You have it tattooed on your arm. It is still tattooed on your arm.
But it has been placed on my arm. It had.
No, not it had. It has been and still is.
Now, if it has...
Oh my god, what is this? What is this? Have you got anything for me, Judd? Have you got anything to tell me? Anything interesting?
I had another run-in with a fucking weirdo not today, this week.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
You know what it's like with me just attracting fucking absolute freaks and cretins. I got some sort of weird magnetism towards them. Well... I think it was yesterday. I ran into town for some food because I'd already had my food and I wanted more food because I'm a fat cunt. And I went into town, and this woman came up to me, and she was obviously like a meth head or something. She was like a right mess. And she came up. She asked me for 50 pence. I gave her 50 pence. I didn't care. And she started going, "See, I misjudged you. See, I misjudged you," and I'm like, "Okay, all right, that's fine.
Leave me alone now."
Yeah, and then she started walking away, and this other fucking homeless woman started like sprinting towards her. Got up to her, and started going, "I only ever wanted you. I wanted you." And I just left. I just left the area. Oh, weird! Weird lesbian homeless meth heads, fucking screaming at each other.
That sounds like a great metal band.
I wanted you.
That sounds like a good metal band, doesn't it? Lesbian homeless meth head. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not more to that story, because normally when you run into some like crazy person, they do you with them for like a week somehow, and
nothing else happened that's a bit weird. I don't think I've bumped into anybody else that's strange.
That's kind of lockdown life again, isn't it? How many times on this podcast have we said, "Oh, what you been up to?" and then it's been nothing. I've been stuck inside. But Judd, I have not been completely stuck inside. I'll have you know, not completely. I've been to a shop But
Ooh.
right. Well, first of all, let me tell you about this shop because I really like it.
Okay.
It's there's quite a few of them like in a certain area near where we live, and I just call them Polish shops, but they're like Baltic type of food and things. But in I don't know if it's just in England, but at least near where we live, most of the like Baltic people we interact with are. I don't even know if Poland is Baltic, but they're Polish. We get a lot of Polish people living around here, so I just call them Polish shops, which is probably somehow racist. Don't know. But I really like them, and they sell a lot of different interesting foods and things like that. They're not like too different and kind of gross, but there's like, I don't know. You know, if you want a snack or like just something nice to drink on an evening or something like that, it's perfect because you get to try like just different stuff. That's like it's like. You know, that'll be like the name of like some sort of thing that they might eat, and it's different types of stuff. So for us, we might go to the shop and get a chocolate bar, you know, so Cadbury's or Galaxy or whatever. Whereas I'll go to this Polish shop, and one of the typical snacks there will be like cereal with like you know, like yogurt coated. You know, you can get like yogurt coated raisins or nuts or whatever. It'll have that sort of yogurt coating, but inside the cereal. But you don't eat it like cereal, it's just like a snack. And it's just weird enough and interesting. So, and I like getting pomegranate aloe vera juice from there. Have you ever had pomegranate juice?
No, I have not.
It's good. It's fucking good. But you can get it in our country in certain shops, in like the posh ones. You know, like Marks and Spencer's or whatever.
Yeah.
You can get it there, but it's actual pomegranate fruit juice. But because this is imported from like Poland or something, it's not like freshly squeezed, got all the fibre in. It's just rammed with sugar, so it's great. It's more like an energy drink than anything. But anyway, that's the side note of I was walking to this shop, and I've got another tangent to set the story for you. It's to do with fruit juice still. Have you ever had prune juice?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what a prune is?
I do know what a prune is.
Well, can you tell me? Because I don't. I know it's like a shriveled fruit, but is it always shriveled?
And they are purple, and old ladies like them.
Yeah, well, I think I figured out why old ladies like them.
Do they stuff it in their stinky old lady twats? Is that what it is?
You are not here, are you? You're just saying things.
Is that what it? Do they shove them in their smelly old lady pussies and they go, "Oh my goodness, that is filling my old lady pussy good"?
Well, what you went to is your own business, but I'm telling you about prune juice right now.
Okay.
This might be a bit private to tell, but my girlfriend has had some strange shits lately. No.
Oh, good.
Right.
Good. Let's talk about this.
Not consistent enough. Like,
they've got to be consistent.
Maybe a little bit constipated, and kind of like, you know, sometimes you get in a mode where it's just like rabbit droppings, where it's like a small turd, but frequent. Well, you know, there's been stuff like that. So she got some prune juice to speed up her bowel movements. Now, I tried a gulp of this prune juice, and we'd ordered pizza that night, and had a because I got my taste back. I were really craving like really cheesy stuff, so we ordered really cheesy pizza. And we walked to the shop, and in this shop, I immediately needed a shit. Like, just no one. It was like, oh, no, we gotta go. I need to shit. We have to go. I wanted to, like, go there and browse some of the weird stuff they have, but nope. Nature said otherwise. The prune juice had gurgled up the pizza in my body and was like, right, go shit right now.
Yeah.
It was one of those situations that you are all too familiar with, as we've discussed
on
the podcast before. I just quickly picked up something to buy so it didn't look dodgy that we'd gone in and, you know, not bought anything. I tried to just leave some money and go, you can keep the change and leave with, you know, but she was like, no, I need to scan it. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, all right, hurry up and scan the fucking juice and let me leave. And I gave her some money, and then I just, like, we're walking back.
Have you ever shit yourself in public before?
What do you mean, like actually shit your pants in front of
like
people?
shit has come out of your arsehole and it's laid inside your pants, whilst you've been in front of people.
If I'm honest, I don't think I've ever done that. I don't even like
It,
without anyone seeing it. I don't think I've ever shit my pants.
I have before. I've shit my pants before, like in front of people.
Well, you can tell us about that after I'm done with my story, because I really want to know about that. But let me just quickly tell you about this. We were like trying to power walk back, and this place wasn't too far, but we'd purposely gone to it for enough of a walk. You know, like just a very small walk to walk there and back, but which made it just too far. So we had to take a little detour because this is in quite a built-up area. There's some flats and things like that. We had to take a little detour down into like this random wooded area that's like in the middle of there, so I could do an emergency shit. And I was very worried as to whether I was going to make it. And as we were walking past, as we were about to get to this wooden sort of grassed area, there were some police just pulled up, and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh no, please leave, please!" And I did get very lucky, and they left. And
what do you think they would have done if they would have seen you having a shit?
Well, I don't know, because I think it's technically illegal, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but they might be into it.
They might be.
What if they were into it? What would you do? What if they were just like, yes?
If they were
Let's
just
watch this lad shitting.
If they were really close, right? Like if they were like a meter away from me, like giving it the big one, giving it the big tug. Even if they spunked and it landed on my, it got on me a bit. Yeah. Right. I'm good with it. So long as they don't like give me a ticket, something like that. I am not precious about anything like that. As long as I can do my emergency shit, and I'm not in trouble with the law, they can have a good wank over it. In fact, I'd be almost pleased for them that they've managed to stumble across this opportunity.
Nice, good.
Cool. Why did I go with that? I should have just said no. I should have just not complied with that weird thing you were going down. No, but
fun.
I wanted to get into the trees, and go near a tree, something like that. But no. As soon as I got onto like the grassed bit, like only just away from like this housing estate, I was like, I gotta go now. So I just went, whoo, and it like fired out my ass. It was projectile. I heard it like hit the ground.
Oh that's always the best when there's a definitive thump out of your arsehole.
Well, it wasn't. It was less of a thud because it was like liquid, but like it was like a on the floor, like you could hear it hit. So yeah, that was that. And I had to wipe my ass with my underpants and a face mask, and kind of just throw them in a bush.
Nice.
But the thing is, when you go in to do an emergency shit, when you're not sitting on a toilet, there's a massive worry about it getting on like your trousers or something, because you have to really like try and get your ass away from it. So what I really wanted to do was like take everything off my bottom half.
Yeah.
And then put it back on. That's the best thing to do, really, if you've got time for it. Obviously, we are experts in this field, so we do know how it works. But I couldn't manage it. I got into the worst situation because I took my shoes and my socks off, which obviously you do first, and I wanted to take my trousers and my pants off, but I didn't have time. I only had time for the shoes and the socks, and then I had to run on like all the floor was like covered in like thorns and shit. So I was still potentially going to get some on my trousers or whatever, and my pants and that, but my feet were just spiked in thorns instead. That was like as far as I'd got. So even that was crap. And walking home, like I was getting thorned in my foot constantly. It was a shitty situation.
Yeah.
So that was that. It was really funny. It was quite embarrassing that like my girlfriend was with me at the time as well. But we're far enough into this relationship where things like that just happen. As in recently at her house. I'll tell you that one later. There's another mild story about that. But yeah. Emergency poo story. There's probably going to be many of those. We've already told many of those, but like I'm sure there'll be more in the future. But I want to hear more about this time where you actually shat your pants. Not like on the floor or whatever, in front of people. In public? People you didn't know or like...
No, I did know. And basically, what happened was we went on a school trip, and
Oh God, how old were you?
I was I don't know, I can't remember, but we went on a school trip and we're on the bus for
What
ages.
sort of age
And
though? Like, because if you were like 7, it doesn't matter too much, does it? But if you were like 16,
it was towards the end of primary school.
oh right, not
So,
too bad then. So you'd be like what?
so yeah.
10?
Basically, we're on this bus and there was nowhere for us to go to the toilet. Like, we're on it for ages and there wasn't even a toilet on this bus. And we were just on it forever. And I just had to shit myself. And I shit myself on the bus and everybody
Did you
could
do it
smell
on
it.
the seat? Were
Yeah.
you like sat on the? Oh, you didn't even like stand up or anything.
Everybody could smell it as well. Everybody.
Did you admit
Everybody
to it?
could
Did you
just-
just say, "Oh, I've shit myself"?
I
I
was stood there going, oh! Because it was coming out. It was coming out my asshole, like no matter what I do. So I was going, please, please.
That's brilliant. I love that. That's so funny.
So, yeah.
Oh dear, I can't believe. Oh, I wish. Oh God, I wish I was there. I wish you were older doing that, and I was there to witness it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. I had an embarrassing body expulsion recently. You have told me before about we've got into like rum lately, haven't we, as a drink, spice rum, things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm currently drinking some rum and ginger beer right now. But you got your granddad a present of some fairly fancy rum. It's like it's mass produced, but it's like high end mass produced stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Called Bumbu. It's called Bumbu Rum. Brilliant name. We can all have a nice little giggle at that. It's in a really cool bottle. I've got some of it here. Well, I've got barely any of it left for the video version. You can see the bottle it comes in. Very piratey. And I wanted to try that. And just a brief review of that, by the way. It's dark rum, not spiced rum, which is different. There's white rum, spiced rum, and dark rum. And I normally like spiced rum the most, but this is dark rum, and I thought I'd try it, give myself a treat. Got a pay rise and got a payday and stuff. And I have to say,
you ain't gonna pay rise, you bastard.
And
You're a liar.
this month I got a pay rise. It's
You're a liar.
not as much as I thought it'd be, but that's beside the point. Anyway, and I have to say, this Bumbu rum, delicious. Like, really, really nice.
It's really nice.
So nice. Best rum I've had. And it's, normally, like, rum is okay on its own. You could drink rum on its own, I'd say. But you would mix it with, like, lemonade or ginger beer and, obviously, Coke, maybe. And I would, so pretty much most rums I would do that. But this rum you could definitely just have straight. It's
I
so
had it
good.
straight a lot, but I usually was having it with Coke.
Yeah, I do prefer to mix something. I feel like something so fancy, it's a bit blasphemous to just mix with, like, Coke. So to make it a bit more Jamaican, a bit more, like, Caribbean, I like to mix it with ginger beer. And it's actually better to mix with diet ginger beer, because ginger beer is really fiery if you get, like, just normal ginger beer, and it kind of overwhelms the rum a lot. But anyway, Bumbu rum, great. I also recently drank some mead. Have you ever tried mead before?
Yeah, I've had it at some point, but I can't really, like, remember it.
I like it a lot, because to me, I don't like wine. Do you like wine?
Yeah, I like wine.
Do you like what like all wines? Because red wine's quite different from white wine, isn't it?
I prefer white to red, but
really, that surprises me, because I prefer red to white. I feel like red's, for people who don't like wine, I feel like red's the best one. But well, whatever. It's, to me, mead is taking the things I don't like about wine out of wine and then putting honey in it. Which, if you can imagine that, and I really like it. I got some Bullet for my Valentine mead, which I just searched for mead on Amazon, and that was the first thing that came up, and I thought, yes, I'll have it. And it was really cheap and really nice, actually, and like it's probably the best mead I've had so far. This is not an ad. Please sponsor us, though, Bullet for my Valentine mead. We will both drink an entire bottle on a podcast and get very drunk.
What would you do if Bullet for my Valentine sponsored us?
They don't have to send us any money or anything. Just send us a bottle each. Just one bottle. It's only like 30 quid's worth of mead. I mean, we could buy it ourselves if we really wanted, but like, I want to do the ad as well.
I'm not going to buy this dog shit mead anyway.
No,
so.
no, it's good. It's good mead. But I want to do the ad for them as well. Which is kind of weird. But anyway, I got this mead and it was nice, and it was so nice that I drank the entire bottle really quickly. And I also drank well, it's a 700 milliliter bottle of rum, and there's I've drunk like 90% of it. And I drank all of that in one evening.
Okay.
Which is not like the most I've ever drunk, but it is a lot. I was very drunk. It would be a lot for fucking anyone. So yeah, I drank all of that, and I got very drunk, and we had like a mini party in this like garage that's been converted into a bedroom. This is me and my girlfriend again.
Did you have it COVID secure?
Yeah, sure. I don't know or really care, if I'm honest. But
you have to care about COVID, Jacob.
Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, sure, it was. I care.
Do you care about COVID?
Let me tell you the rest of this story. It's much more interesting than COVID secure. So basically, I got with that amount. It's quite common to get drunk to the point where you don't remember a fair amount of things. That definitely happened. It didn't. I didn't forget most of the night. It was just what's quite often common if I have like a good amount of alcohol and like have a good party or like a night out is I'll just forget like the last bit before bed. You know, I'll just kind of forget how I got to bed. And that was the case with this. But the last thing I remember was for some reason just going to my girlfriend, I'm gonna be sick. Like I was in her bed.
You said what?
I was in her bed already, and I just was like, I'm gonna be sick.
Were you sick?
Fairly jolly about it. I was like, I need a bag, gonna be sick. And she just quickly put a bag in front of me, and I was definitely sick. I was quite a lot of sick on this bed. This bag did a good job at holding the sick, didn't hold all of it. Leaked a little bit on the bed. But not enough. We still slept on the bed. It was fine. So yeah, that was
so
kind
you
of
went, I'm gonna be sick, and then was sick.
Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. Bear in mind, the weekend before I'd almost shat myself. Then the next weekend, I'd been sick in bed in front of her. It's a wonder this woman still wants to be with me. Oh god,
it's awful.
That makes me sound like a massive mess. Like, I'm not as much of a mess as that makes me sound. Just nearly that much. But the bad thing about that was I was obviously too drunk to deal with this bag of sick at that point.
Yeah.
Her, like, outside bin, not an inside bin where it'd stink up the room, the outside dustbin was really close, because it's this garage conversion, so it's, like, quite close to where the bins are. So she could have just gone and put it in the bin, but she was also fairly drunk as well, and she was being quite lazy. So she literally just put it by the door outside, this bag of sick. And in the morning, this guy came to do some some garden stuff. He was coming to the garden, and it's a guy that she knows. And there was just a bag of sick in his way the whole morning for like 3 hours. And he just, when we finally emerged, he asked her what was in that bag, and she just basically had to say, sick.
Good. I'm glad.
And they'd had to tie it up and throw it away. It was already gone by the time we emerged. Oh.
I think a good vomit is awesome.
Yeah, sometimes a good throw up, it's pretty good.
You know when you just have like a lot in you, and it's a good chunky throw up, and like you work into your work, and you do it on your desk in front of everybody, in front of your boss, in front of your girlfriend Rachel.
Rachel? The fuck is this?
So
this sounds a little bit too specific. No, but you're not wrong though. A good puke is sometimes quite good. That could be a quote. Can you imagine that on my headstone when I die?
That'd be great.
A good puke can be quite good.
It can, though. It can.
It can. So yeah, that was my story of throwing up. Have you got one of your weird things this time, Judd, or have you been too sleepy to find a weird internet thing to tell me about?
I've not found any weird internet cuckold stories, to be honest, Jake. I've not found any. The tides of the
they
internet.
They don't always have to be cuckold ones, by the way.
Tides of the internet.
Just weird.
No, the tides of the internet have been quite calm. They've not spat anything awful out at me. No, I'm trying to think. Is there anything that's going on in the interwebs world that's a bit fucking weird? And I think it's all right at the moment.
I can assure you, it's not all right. It never is all right. But okay then. Well, let me tell you about something that's still relevant. Damn it, it's still worth talking about. I bought a game. That game is Cyberpunk. I started to play Cyberpunk. Judd.
Oh my god!
It's earlier than I wanted to try and play it, but I figured it should be sorted by now, really, shouldn't it? And
it's not.
In my list of games that I kind of would want to get, none of them are like shouting out to me too much. So I thought I'll give Cyberpunk a go. And let me tell you, Judd, right? For starters, I normally play like games that come out nowadays on either highest settings or just below that, or if it's really hard to play, medium settings. That's what my PC runs games at. And I cannot run this on any higher than the lowest settings. Doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
It's so insanely badly optimized, and I only just get 60 FPS on the very lowest settings. There's still graphical glitches everywhere. All the trees and bushes are on the top layer of your visuals. So like all the trees and bushes are just everywhere. So that doesn't work. And also, to be honest, that's it for like bugs and stuff so far. I've not played that much of it, but so far that's it. And the trees thing kind of seemed to fix itself.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I don't care. It's still fucking awful. It's terrible. Everything about it fucking pisses me off. Like, it's just so annoying. It's like every bit of it, it angers me. Like, every bit of it's just, all of
it's shit.
Even if I forget about all the bugs and that, I'm giving that game a fucking 3 out of 10. It's bad. It's like Far Cry 5 levels of bad to me. It's like, you've got this massive open world that's supposed to be a big bustling city, but it constantly feels like a linear, closed-in, cramped, fucking awful feeling place. And also, the systems for everything are so annoying and complicated. And like, the character creation is decent, but then you choose, like, where you are, and it don't matter, because they just give it its own personality anyway. It's like, you've gone through all of that, and it's like, oh, well, they're going to be like that anyway. So it's like, why the fuck did I even create them and choose where I'm starting and everything? Yeah. They always have same attitude, and they should have not given them a voice. They should have not given them a voice,
Jake.
but given them voice options, just like in Fallout and things like that.
Jake,
the characters are annoying. There's like weird cuts where like a bunch of story happens, but you're not involved. It's like, oh well, that all looks cool. Can I do that? Can you just let me do that then? But no, you have to do the shitty, boring stuff instead. So, it's just the cars. They're so bad. They're the worst. It's the worst feeling cars I've ever played. GTA fucking 3 was better than that. Do you remember playing GTA 3? They had better feeling cars. Honestly, I can't believe how terrible it actually is.
It's really bad, isn't
honestly, the reviews for that, when it came out, were, like, saying it's bad because, there's loads of bugs and stuff. Oh, it is really bad. Loads of bugs. Awful. Doesn't run very well. Yeah. But no one actually said how bad just the game is, even when all those things don't exist.
It's bad.
I'm kind of determined. But you have said to me before that if it weren't for all the bugs and stuff, it could potentially be your favourite game ever.
Yeah, for the story, I really like the story and the universe, but actually game wise, it's not.
The story is shit. It is so badly structured, and the characters are not that good or interesting.
Oh no.
Oh, it's all just and thing is as well, they don't actually do Cyberpunk very well because they just do like sci-fi mumbo jumbo speak, just to make whatever they want to happen in the story happen. So it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm determined to play more of it because I want to. I find that I tend to be weary and not really like games that much. I think you really like it
actually.
I obviously don't. But when I start playing games, I tend to like not like them very much right at the start. For the first hour or two of playing, I tend to not like them that much because I'm not used to them. But then I get used to them and kind of start to like them. But what I will say is, I am not expecting that to happen with this game. Just every moment I spend in it feels horrid. And like the guns are so crap. They're so terrible. Like, I know that I'm a bit spoilt with Apex because I play a lot of it. The movement in that game is incredible, and the guns feel amazing.
Yeah.
So whenever I go into something else, even like Fallout 4 or even like Outer Worlds when I played that, the movement feels a bit clunky. The guns in it feel like there's so much like effects, so much like flash, muzzle flash, smoke, things like that. But on Cyberpunk, it's another level. The movements are all treacly and shit. They tried to implement stealth, kind of like Dishonored, but it's so like I say, treacly, like you're moving through custard, that it don't matter. You can't do it properly. And then the guns, every time you shoot a bullet, your entire screen fucking flash. So I can't see anything when I'm shooting the gun. So it's
Have you seen what happens when you shoot somebody like a civilian yet?
Oh yeah, I've saved it and just gone on a rampage. Oh yeah, by the way, you can pop someone right in the head, a civilian, like 7 times, and they just stand there and they don't die. It's so stupid. And even systems that they've done on purpose, like the wanted system and how police turn up, is ridiculous. So if it's quite a common thing in stuff like Skyrim or Fallout, that you might save your game, go on a murderous rampage in the biggest city, kill a bunch of essential characters, and then just load your game again. Just something like that. So I thought, I'm gonna have a go. I'm just gonna do a brief one of those in Cyberpunk, and it's so unsatisfying again because civilians don't die, like I just said, and then the police appear behind you, and because I've played a lot of Apex, because I've played a lot of shooters, and I'm just on normal difficulty, it's very easy for me to wipe out like 7 police at once.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then 2 more just appear behind me, which makes no sense again. It's like, surely they should just appear outside the building that you're in and make their way in the building. Like, how hard would it be to make that happen rather than just behind you? I don't know. It's just a little rant that it's just trash. It's bad. Bad game. Paid £20 for it. I would say that game is worth £7. That's how much I would pay for it.
£7.
Yeah. Alexa,
nice.
How much is £7 in dollars?
7 stone is £98.
Well, that's not what I wanted, but you get the idea. It's about like what, $10, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to tell you that Cyberpunk, very bad. I know that you told us about it when it came out and that's great, but I just thought, because I'd given it a go and things like that. I think this will perfectly describe my feelings towards that game. I get less frustrated solo queuing in Apex than playing single player easy mode Cyberpunk.
No, I enjoyed my time with it, but it's one of those games where that if you said it's the biggest piece of shit on earth, I'd have to agree with you.
I feel like there's definitely games that have been worse that I've played. But I can't think of any off the top of my head. I don't know what that tells you,
Yeah.
I want to give it like a 3 out of 10 because there is certain things that are cool about it. I like how much you can customize your character, but then it kind of falls flat. The setting is a good idea. There's a few bits that are, the ambition behind it is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The different starting points could be a good idea. They've got a bunch of good ideas that I think deserve some merit, and I but it's bad. It is just quite terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3 out of 10. So far I like it slightly less than Far Cry 5, slightly, but I feel like by the end of playing it, I'll probably hate them both equally. Oh,
yeah.
Right, Judd, tell me about something. What have you been watching? Any shows, movies, stuff like that? What have you been doing?
The
Tell me.
the only show that I have been watching is Snowpiercer, and I've been really enjoying
Fucking hell. How long
Snowpiercer.
have you been watching that for? We're in a lockdown, Judd. We're in a lockdown, Morty. We're in a lockdown. What
still
else
coming
is there
out.
to do other than
It's still coming out.
Right, okay. I understand.
So no, I can't just binge the whole thing because it's coming out every Tuesday.
I've been rewatching Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And I'm interested. Weirdly, I know this is kind of a weird request. I want to hear your sort of review per season, like what you think of each season of Rick and Morty, because there's been 4 now, and there's been commissioned for another 3 seasons. I think they've already ordered them from Adult Swim,
right?
But like, they've got to, make them. What do you think? What do you think of them? Tell me about them, because mostly because I want to order food on my phone and drink. So come on, tell me about stuff.
I'm a big fan of that. So Rick and Morty started annoying me at one point. I think it was season 3 where it just started. I don't know. There was something about it that just. I don't know. It was just making me cringe. It was just.
I can see why it would be that season.
It just started making me cringe quite a bit because there was like.
Was that the season with the Szechuan sauce? I think it was, wasn't it?
It was where. I feel like it was the season where Rick started taking himself too serious. And the second that he sort of started taking himself serious, it was like, it's not really funny anymore. It's just a bit cringy.
Yeah, I have to say, the ones where they purposefully try and shock you with like a really sad thing, it's kind of just the first one that I remember seeing that like comes to mind where they try and shock you with something really sad, and it just kind of becomes like cringe after doing it for a while, is the one with the parasites and all the zany characters and that?
Yeah.
When Beth shoots Mr. Poopy Butthole, it turns out is real. Then there's a brief scene of her going into the kitchen and quickly trying to pour a glass of wine and down it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, oh fuck. It's the first time, at least the first time I remember that happening. But then they kind of played on that a lot, and it was like, oh yeah, things are sad. And do you know what I think? I think the world actually has got that cynical, like in general. That's just average. That's not even that sad anymore. So now we're okay, so what?
Yeah.
So season 1. Give me your kind of brief overview of what you think about season 1.
I don't know. It was all right. Season 1 I felt was just fine because it was like, all right, it's introducing this new show to us, which just seems okay. A bit fucking cringy sometimes, but it seems all right.
Yeah, but
then it was about season 2.
Have you ever gone back and watched the first episode? You like burps and shit so much. It's like it's too much.
There's some bits that are just like hard. It's like this is hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
yeah.
Have you seen that thing that Dan Harmon made where it was like Dan Harmon baby rapist? Where
I've heard of that phrase, but I don't know what it is.
he like filmed himself sneaking into this apartment, and there was like a baby doll on the settee, and he just like climbed on top of it and started humping it. It's weird.
The fuck?
And like,
it feels like he's just it just feels like provocatism, doesn't it? It feels like he's
he was just trying to take the piss, absolutely, but it was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of insane. I feel like Justin Roiland, because it's Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, isn't it, the creators?
Yeah.
I feel like Justin Roiland's the just normal guy who's kind of doing stuff, and Dan Harmon's the kind of weird creator behind it.
Justin Roiland hangs out with like all the YouTubers and stuff, though. He's been on the H3 podcast a few times.
I loved the stuff he did on that, but having watched that has mildly ruined watching Rick and Morty for me, because it's so easy to tell the voices he's doing at that point. I actually am still really impressed that he does Rick and Morty. Because they are very different voices. But it's like if you the guy who plays SpongeBob, he's done a lot of stuff on YouTube, hasn't he? And he does so many voices. Yeah, it is pretty incredible. If you really focus on it, you can tell. But so season, you still haven't given me a summary of season 1. I want like a sentence per one.
To be honest, I don't really care, and I can't really think of like a synopsis or something because it's been so long since I've.
Fuck you, I'll do it.
Okay.
Because I think season 1 was like finding its feet and good when you on its own when we were only aware of that season, but going back to it after other seasons coming out, it's like, oh, this is still good, but it's a bit more cringe and a bit more kind of. Season 1 almost feels like a parody of itself because it was on its own at that time, and we've kind of grown up a bit from it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Season 2, I feel like, was just general good Rick and Morty. It was just like, nice, fun, not too over the top anymore. Just, that was where we got Intergalactic Cable on that one. I think twice, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Intergalactic Cable was on the first one and then again on the second one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, and then yeah, because it was still kind of like each episode was a bit insular at that point. Then season 3, they tried to get a little bit too cute with the storytelling on the overarching story and kind of referencing back to other aliens and stuff like that. Because in the first 2 seasons, it kind of felt like they were just making up science mumbo jumbo, and that was part of the fun.
Yeah.
Whereas they kind of just kept it all in season 3 and 4, but it still kind of. For me, season 3 was intriguing in a different way because they did that. But then season 4 did the same thing and was still intriguing, but like, I feel like they need to do something else. Season 5, they can't keep doing this overarching story with like evil Morty and shit, you know?
Yes.
Cool, I did your job for you. I wanted you to do that because I thought it'd sound more interesting coming from you.
No.
But no, fuck it, I'll do everything. Fine. I'll take 100% of this podcast earnings, shall I, as well? Which is 0. So, cool. Yep. Same as if I'd only take 50-50. I've got some food coming. Delicious. Right,
you go.
I've got one more thing
then.
for you, though, Judd. We're not close to the podcast being over. We've got like another 20 minutes here.
Can we be, please? Because I'm still tired.
No, Judd. I've got an interesting topic to copy straight from Rhett and Link's podcast.
What do you want, you fucking bastard? What? Hurry!
I do this quite a lot because I feel like, you know, they say stuff, but we could say interesting stuff on the same topic because we're weird and gremlins. No, not better. Actually, factually worse, but interesting in a different way because it's worse. I listened to a podcast of theirs recently where they talk about memorable meals, because meals are something that kind of you do at memorable times. So, you know, like when you have a birthday or whatever, you know, you might go out for a meal, things like that. And I wondered, like, what immediately comes to mind for you for like memorable meals? Because it doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad.
To be honest, I think when I think about like the tastiest thing I've ever eaten, it's probably underage girls.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Is that it? Is that the end of the podcast? Is that a start?
I don't know what to do after you said that. It's a joke. It's not true. And also, I will add to that, it's a bad joke. It's fucking gross. I don't even like that joke. I didn't even find it funny. Joke. I think that was just bad, actually.
I think you like that joke.
It was mildly creative, I'll give you that. But it's not necessarily the tastiest thing you've ever had, though. It's like they were on about stuff that kind of merged with sentimental value. So, like, for example, one of the things they said was they remember. This is a very American thing that would never happen in anywhere near us, like maybe in our country, but they remember going fishing with like a cousin and a dad and an uncle and bringing those fish back to like a camper van and being cooked like an hour after they'd caught them, things like that. We would never do that, and that's not going to be a memorable meal for us. But weirdly, when I think about memorable meals, it's like almost mundane stuff for us in a weird way. So, for example, do you remember when we went to? When we have Christmas dinner with our we have like 2 Christmas dinners, don't we? Because our parents are divorced and stuff.
Yeah.
We've got the same dad, and yeah, so we have Christmas dinner with our dad, and then with our mums. And weirdly, I have a memorable Christmas dinner do you remember when we went to the Mar Lodge?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of my point. I don't know why I remember that one. It's like whenever we have Christmas dinner with our dad, we go to a restaurant on Christmas Eve and have Christmas dinner. It is normal Christmas dinner, but like someone else makes it because they cannot be asked to make it, and I don't know. They're the type of people who wouldn't. But I don't know what it is about that I just really remember, and I just don't know why. It's not because you could say, oh, it was sentimental, it was Christmas or whatever, but I don't remember any other Christmas dinners with them.
Maybe it's just because you're autistic.
Well, you remember it as well. That's the one that you remember. Can you name any other place we went? Exactly.
Flaming Dragon.
No, as in for Christmas dinner.
Didn't we go to Flaming Dragon for Christmas dinner?
No.
I don't know. No, I can't remember.
Exactly, that's my point. It's weird that one is memorable.
No, we went to the Honey Pot.
The problem with that is, I know what you're talking about, but it's not even called the Honey Pot. It's called the Mustard Pot. So still, it just doesn't even. It's not even anywhere near as memorable. There was something weird about this certain carvery that we went to that was just memorable. I don't know if it was just that it was really nice. I think part of it might have been that it was the Christmas I turned 18, so I had a pint of Barnsley Bitter Ale when I was there. I don't know if that was part of it or what, but I don't know. But that was a memorable one. And you bringing up Flaming Dragon reminds me that, like, there's memorable meals that isn't necessarily a specific meal. It's something you might have had on multiple occasions, but it's memorable kind of because of that. Flaming Dragon's definitely one of those because it was this all-you-can-eat... Well, why don't you describe it, being it was your favourite restaurant
God,
ever.
it was an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet that did the best fucking chips ever.
By that he means the worst. Like it was like a budget Chinese buffet, wasn't it? It was in this like kind of entertainment complex where they had a bunch of restaurants, a cinema, and then they had like some ski slopes and like bowling, things like that in this place. And it was budget.
It was great.
Whenever when we used to visit our dad, like we would every so often one of us would get to choose somewhere to eat. I think at one point we had like a rotating where shall we go out for a meal on a Saturday evening sort of schedule. So we saw him once every 2 weeks. So our dad would pick a place one time to go out for a Saturday evening, and then it might be my turn, and then other time it might be your turn. So that'd be like 6 weeks, it'd take to go across that. But every single time, it was your turn to pick somewhere to eat. Like, normally somewhere that you'd go that was quite nice, you might get dressed up a bit. You would pick fucking Flaming Dragon. It was like £5, £4, all you can eat. And thing is, Judd doesn't even like Chinese food very much. He would go and just have chips.
I'd have chips and ribs.
Yeah, that's it. You'd have chips and Chinese ribs. I would go around and try like a small amount of everything to taste some of this, taste some of that. Our dad would try quite a lot, but he don't try as many things as me. And you would have ribs and chips every single time, which is quite funny. It's iconic. That was really iconic. That, and it's similarly iconic to when I have like I call them like Antisocials. I'd have like one friend round, we'd get drunk and order pizza, and play games, maybe watch a movie, something like that. If we did it, we'd stream or do a podcast or something. Yeah. And I call it an antisocial because when I was at college, they would have college socials in this club, but everyone was like 17 and maybe 2 people were 18. So in our country, that means that maybe 2 people were allowed to drink at this place, and it was a club, and it was dark and loud and just shit. They were awful, these social things. So
you know what happens to kids in a dark and dim place?
No.
You know what happens?
No, we're not even going further down that road. That's it. I'm just going to continue on and ignore you. I used to have I specifically used to have Antisocials, where me and a friend would
Yeah.
purposefully not go there and have a much better time at home. And we would always get. It used to be me and Dan who would do it.
Yeah.
If my friend Dan, I guess a lot of people listen to this wouldn't know who he is. We would order from Gino's, Papa Gino's near me, a Greek pizza, which is your normal pizza with kebab meat, jalapenos, and chips on it. Which, let me tell you, and we drizzle mayo on top of that. In the morning, after beer and that, there would be a moment where you would be like, need shit? Just like when I had the prune juice. So
Yeah.
that to me is a very memorable meal as well, because we'd do that, and that was really fun. Like, especially because we were 17 as well, so like alcohol was more exciting, and we'd get someone to go to the shop and get us like a crate of beer each,
Yeah.
or even just one crate of beer when we were that age. That's memorable to me as well. And then the last one that I think you would be interested in, which actually does make sense sentimentally, is when we went to the grill pit for your 18th. Do you remember that? Quite a lot
Yeah,
of
of course I
people
do.
went from your family and everything, and then me and you went on a night out after. And that was the iconic Snapchat story I did when at the end of the night you ripped the top off a fence and went, "Kya!" And that was that entire night. So many memorable things. First time ever tried grill pit. Your 18th. That whole Snapchat story. The whole "Kya" meme. That totally makes sense why that's a memorable meme for me.
Yeah.
But it also, like, you know, the grill pit in our town. Oh, what a burger place! It's so good.
Awesome.
Every time I went, I was like, I'm going to try something else this time. I've got to try something else. But every time I went, I had to get a Mucky Mavis burger. Do you remember the Mucky Mavis burger? Horrible sounding name, potentially. But this Mucky Mavis burger was a premium, like, such nice burger patty. Some proper, brilliant fries, not chips, because in England, people have this fucking weird obsession with having really thick chips, and then they're all, like, dry and fluffy on the inside, and that's crap. Fries are better. Anyway, that tangent's different. Anyway, so they'd have such nice fries, and on this burger it would have mac and cheese and mozzarella dippers, so it'd be so cheesy and indulgent. Loved it.
Mac and
Brilliant.
cheese is my favourite topping on a burger as well.
Which is weird, isn't it? It doesn't seem like it should be, but it is great. So nice. The perfect night out for me was going to the grill pit at about 7, having, you know, a few nice pints of Blue Moon or Brooklyn Lager, some good ales. Having a Mucky Mavis, just a Mucky Mavis as well, because if you get too full, you can't get drunk. And then, you know, wandering down to Old Number 7, getting some Barnes of Gold, and then hitting up Brammers, the local Weatherspoons, you know, getting fucking £2 pints or like 10 shots of sours. Oh God, why is lockdown still a thing?
I know,
Why can't we just go and do that this weekend? Please, Lord, please. Oh my God, why have I started thinking about this? Now I am very sad that it is not a thing that exists. Oh dear.
It's upsetting. It's very upsetting.
God, thinking about that is so perfect. Obviously, that's quite a specific thing to our town, but I'm sure people can relate with a similar sort of thing. Have you got any other memorable meals you can think of? Other than, like, Big Tasty from McDonald's or the Gravy Burger from KFC?
I don't remember anything that's ever happened.
What about when we went to Dad's every weekend when we were young and we'd always get Pizza Hut on a Friday night?
Yeah, that was good.
Tell us about that.
Well, there's not really much to tell. We'd just always fucking order from the same pizza place.
No, Pizza Hut. When we went to Pizza Hut
from Pizza Hut.
specifically.
Oh,
Do you
no, what
remember?
happened then is that my brother and dad would go to Pizza
Which
Hut.
is me. I am the
And
brother.
he is my brother, yes. And his dad would be sat inside, and me and Jake would be outside fucking hitting each other with sticks, because we just liked fighting with sticks.
Yeah, we'd somehow find some fucking sticks on the floor or something. And we didn't understand that it was probably rude just to leave our dad, to leave him there. Just sat on the table on his own. And we just go and fucking run around outside.
We just
and
go out
everyone
and
could
smack
see us. It was like this
sticks.
massive bay window, wasn't it? That everyone could see these two retard kids just running around. Oh, bless him. Do you know what? Looking back on stuff like that makes me think of him more fondly as a dad. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, My phone's just said driver is close, so I have to end this podcast. So that's what I'm going to do, and we're going to say goodbye. Tweet us at tweetsbadly about any of your memorable meals. The podcast is going to end, the stream's going to keep going, and Judd's going to blabber on for a bit. Okay, say goodbye, Judd.
Okay, bye, bye, bye,
Wubba lubba
bye.
dub dubs. I've been watching too much of that.